What's up, guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm excited to talk to you about the social media outage that happened on October 4th, 2021, and why this is such a crucial thing that has happened to many industries across the world, and especially here in the United States. So the main focus today is I want to talk about how it's also affected mainly the fitness industry and why the fitness industry thrives very, very much off social media, right? So before we continue down that path, I would love it if you like, subscribed, shared, comment down below at the end of this video if you got value out of it. But for today's topic, we're gonna go all in right now. So as you guys probably heard, there was that social media outage crash where it took Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger out of the picture for a pretty good amount of time. I believe it was like 10, 11 a.m. Eastern, all the way till probably like 6, 7 p.m. Eastern time. With that being said, there was a lot of companies, a lot of businesses, small, big, medium size, very, very upset because, you lose money when it comes to, your services, merchandise, your customers, and also ads, right? You're spending money on ads as well and promotions, and any kind of posts that you do, they're not going to do as well. So a lot of people were very, very scared and upset with what was going on. Now, keep in mind this, I don't know if you guys knew this, but there's a fact is that Mark Zuckerberg lost about $6 billion in his value through stocks and other ways that, people were putting money into Facebook, investing into it, and he lost about $6 billion, which is a pretty big hit. Now, think about that. If that happened within not even a 24-hour window, imagine what would happen in 24 hours or a few days or a week of not having social media. But I think the biggest question is, what would you do if social media disappeared for about a few days to a week? How would you best prepare for that, being in the fitness industry? And that's what I want to talk most importantly today, is how to be prepared for that outcome if another social media outage happens, and then it takes a lot longer for it to come back up. Are you ready for that, right? So here are the big things that I want to share with you is being prepared when you have another outage in the fitness industry. As we know, the health and fitness industry thrives off social media, so you want to be ready for this. So number one, you want to make sure that you have data and information on leads, prospects, clients that you work with to make sure that you can constantly stay in communication with them if an outage happened. This is why I constantly mention all the time, it's important to get information from people on social media and take it out of social media, right? Emails, phone numbers, other social media profiles that they might be on, right? Other platforms that you can access them. Just because if this outage happens again, you can have communication, you can still lead gen, you can still hit up your clients, and you're not gonna have a problem. So making sure you have a data bank outside social media platforms is gonna be very important, right? So having your own software or your own place to put all this data in is gonna be crucial, so you can prevent something like this damaging or hurting your business to an extreme outcome, right? Here's another thing, number two, right? With that information, now you can send out messages, right? You can send out text messages, you can do calls, right? Go back to some cold calling, you can do some email blasts, right? You can go to some of these old school tactics as well. And even if you have to go door knocking, you freaking go door knocking, right? To these locations that make sense for your business in the fitness industry. So you want to keep in mind that there are other ways to continue movement in your business if something like this happened and it prolonged longer than what we wanted to prolong. And you got to make sure that you're always prepared for this because you never know what can happen, right? We can wake up another morning and next thing you know it, all these platforms are shut down. Now what? Are you going to stop your business completely? No, you got to figure out a way. So these are ways to figure out how to be able to continue, at least temporarily, keep your business afloat or maintained so that way you don't take a sudden hit or massive drop, especially being in the fitness industry. Number three, you want to make sure that you have a great relationship, with your clients and have a good relationship with your prospects outside of social media, meaning that you're also delivering value, not just through social media. Because here's the thing, if you're also delivering value through other platforms or through email or through other sequences, they are going to also want to stay on there, right? Meaning you're going to retain those people on those other softwares, on those other platforms, on those other ways that you're able to deliver value, meaning they're not just going to your social media for value, right? So what does that do for you? It lets them know when the social media accounts go down, they know where to still get value from because you're getting it from somewhere else that they've already been getting it from, right? That's why apps like Community, a text-based app, is a great place to be able to keep clients in there and still send them value, right? If something like this happened, your business doesn't go out, because you can still do mass text messages through a community app, and you can be able to still serve people at a high level and still get people in front of you, right? Same thing with the email, like I mentioned. So utilizing, figure out what are the ways to be able to still deliver value, which will continue bringing that value to that person without having to necessarily use social media. Another one could be is website, guys, right? So moving to the next step is having a website or some kind of blog where you can have people still go through to get value and information, and also it's yours that you own, right? Because social media platform, they own their company. So technically you're using their space to be able to promote, right? But if you create your own website, that's your own space. If you create your own blog, that's your own space. You're in control of that. So you can control what's coming in and out. And also as well, you can build the level of audience in there where now you can still pump out and feed them what you want and still get potential prospects to be able to get in front of you in the fitness industry. So you want to make sure that you have all these other things set up moving forward, just in case something like this happens for you and your business doesn't just go flat, right? Another thing to keep in mind, guys, is make sure that on these other platforms that you're also constantly still delivering video, right? Even if most of these old school tactics were all message-based, written-based, remember, you can still send emails with videos, you can still send messages with videos, right? You can still put what videos on your website, so still continue video messaging or video promoting of value, just because that's what people are used to with social media. So you can still give them that social media value aspect of video, but you're just gonna keep it in the other way of these old school forms of marketing and delivering your value. Now guys, being in the fitness industry, social media once again is very, very prominent. And it's gonna be very, very crucial to be able to have success on your fitness industry. But you gotta keep in mind it's not the end all be all, and you gotta keep in mind that you have to be ready for any scenario possible. Now guys, at the end of the day, your business is gonna function depending on how much effort and how much work you wanna put into it, and how you're gonna be able to figure out to solve a problem in any situation that you're in. So at the end of the day, the most important thing you need to know is it all depends on you. How bad do you want it? How far am I willing to go to be able to push the needle forward to solve the problem that's currently happening right now, to make sure that I continue my business running forward and smoothly, right? Like I mentioned, here are great tools I gave you, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to want to utilize these tools, use these tools to be able to continue your business moving forward, and not falling into the trap of, oh my God, my social media is gone. What do I do now, right? So you want to make sure that you're ready, you're prepared, you understand that if something like this happens, you know how to act quickly, you know how to still deliver value, you still know how to get people in front of you in other different ways and formats that still currently exist. There was a proven a stat the other day that came up on October 4th that when social media dropped, the numbers of emails, the number of text messages, the number of website clicks, the number of blog clicks, and also as well in-person communication went up the roof because there was no social media access, right? Especially on these platforms. Yes, keep in mind TikTok and Snapchat and Twitter. Some of these their spikes went up as well because everybody deviated to those that still exist, that were still prominent during that time. But here's the thing, right? Most people are using Instagram, Facebook, and some of these for these kind of these kind of sales and these kinds of prospecting. So those are two of the most prominent going down. It's going to create some effect. So you saw a lot of these old school tactics completely rise to the top in numbers, which still goes to show you people will still go to those old school methods if they have to. So just keep in mind, I'm not saying consume your whole business around it, but have that ready, have that prepared, and don't just ghost emailing, don't just ghost messaging, don't just ghost blogs or websites completely. Keep them relevant, right? Keep them relevant, keep them somewhat active, and make sure you're delivering value to them, because again, if another outage happens, who knows? And we want to make sure your business is protected. So guys, if you got value out of this video, I would truly appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, comment, shared, because the more love you show me, the more love I can show back. Until next time.